Let's get it on, race fans. Speed Zone TV here tonight, covering off for Threat Level Midnight Media for the National Association of Sim Racers. We're at Dover Motor Speedway for 120 laps. This place opened up 56 years ago with 24-degree bank turns, 9-degree bank straightaways. Originally started off as asphalt, but now it's concrete. It's one of the 3 concrete tracks in the NASCAR circuit. So you're going to compare this to the likes of Bristol Motor Speedway or Nashville Super Speedway. Concrete tracks are known for a little bit more tire degradation, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers handle moving from Talladega Speedway last week with McKinney, Babb, and I believe Greathouse in the podium, now coming to Dover and seeing, how their skills transpire here. So we're looking at 70 degree weather with overcast, 9-mile-an-hour winds with 75 humidity. I'm going to be your host tonight. Robert Warren's up in the bazooth for NASR. And we're going to be capturing all the action tonight. So drivers are just finishing up they're qualifying, and we're going to be waiting to take a look at the grid. So just kind of giving you a little perspective on the season so far is, like I said, last week we're just waiting for this to load up. Last week we were at Talladega Super Speedway, and a bunch of racing there. Apparently it's not going to load for me right meow, but let's just take a look over here too. Before Talladega, we were at Texas. We saw Williams claim the victory there. Week before that, we were at Richmond. That was May 29th. We saw Williams in the lead, the points lead there. So not the winner overall, but we can look at the trucks. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get those stats until they load in iRacing, but looks like qualifying's done here. We're going to get to take a look at the grid. Like we got Greathouse on the pole position with Smith on the outside, Williams in P3 in that one truck, McKinney in the 46 machine in fourth, Long in the 84 machine in fifth, Babb in the 99 machine in sixth, Brown in the 17 and seventh, Negus in the 8th position, Smith in 9th position, Decker in 10th. Luttrell is a banger in a different league, but he's here tonight duking it out. And Kennedy in 12th, Downing in 13th, Kuntz in 14th, and 15th is Gattina, and Tiffany is in 16th, Kratky in 17th, Ciano in 18th, Hudson in 19th, and Ledoux rounding out the field for the 20th position. So you could see it now. We got 20 drivers ready to battle this right out of the park. So stay tuned as we bring you the action tonight, and we'll take a look at how this shakes down and take a look at these trucks, sponsors on the trucks. But if you're watching the stream right now, you're going to want to click that gearbox in the bottom right hand side and make sure that you're streaming in 4K. So did a little bit of work with the hardware and our connection speeds to bring you the best possible picture ever. These drivers getting ready to roll out. As you can see, they're beautifully gridded up in the pits. Imagine we'll be doing a pace lap or two and then be underway. Going to be under the clouds all night tonight. I don't think we're going to see a spot of sunshine, so the cold track's going to typically make it a little bit more stable for these drivers, but potentially cause a little bit more wear with carrying speed. Turns 1 and 2 significantly different than 3 and 4. So we're going to see how the drivers manage both corners. And then also just the transition as you come out of turn 2 can be tricky sometime. Take a second and reload our ticker on the left hand side. Lights are off on the pace car. I'm excited, you're excited. Speed Zone TV here tonight, just bringing you coverage for race number 10 for these guys. One-time show. Tight battle in the top 4 in points. We'll cover off that up in a little as the green flag is out. We're underway. Nice smooth start 2x2 as they go down that front straightaway. Smith is going to clear on the outside into turn 1 with Greathouse in behind. Williams clear as well. Babb in that 4th position with Sean Long a little bit further back. Getting a little pressure from that 55 of Negus. Looks behind. Drivers are doing a great job here in these opening laps. Just settling in, running clean laps. 17 machine here. Oh, shiny. That's Anthony Brown. That's that 77 truck just making the pass there on Smith. Now working the outside of Negus. Up 6 spots already. Attacking hard. Apparently there's 2 Smiths. We're going to have to pay attention to that, Justin and Cody Smith. So 6 machine is our leader right now. Doing a great job of just setting pace. Looking like drivers are in 22-second lap times. 22.8 into 23s. Looking like we got a varied, talented set of drivers here. So not going to be surprised that the laps are going to tick down. It's already single file, but let's take a look at perhaps a different view here. Get a little bit spread out. Wrapping the bottom and, well, 3 and 4 up about a groove. You can see that 51 of Great House is just a little bit tighter to the bottom of the track there. Great House looks to be backing up the entry into 1 and 2 a little bit more, a little bit stronger off. Taking a look back here on that 77 machine. Up 7 spots now, looking to move in on the 114 of Decker. Kuntz built, Chevy powered. Attacking the entry of 3 there. See, but the run off of the corner 4 gets a little loose there. Truck goes in a yaw. Quick look into turn 1, wrapping the bottom. 84 of Long in front. Little brush of the wall by Decker. Great House is falling back as far as well, not really falling back, but sitting about 4/10. Williams 9/10 back. This pack of trucks is about 2 seconds back from our leader. And it looks like Kuntz is looking to make a move on Long in his Days of Thunder throwback. Don't let him by, Cole. He's going to get a good run off the exit of 4. That outside line in 1 and 2, if a driver's able to roll the outside, you can hold off the inside driver. You need that outside run on the exit of 2 to get momentum. And when you're on that bottom side, you have to feather the throttle a little bit more. 12 laps in already. And it's winding down. You have to pay attention here for when pit cycles start. Kuntz attacking the entry, slides up a little bit. Long brushes the wall, clears. Kuntz clears, but a little bit of rough driving there. I don't know how Long's going to feel about that later in the run if he's able to get back to him. Great House has fallen back a little bit more from our leader, Justin Smith. Sitting 6/10 back now. You remember before he was 0.4, not very much, but it adds up on a shorter track like this. Drivers are relatively running the same times right now. You see the lap previous, Great House fell off 2/10. Williams 0.15 back, where Smith was able to maintain that time, and now they're even again. Tick-tock, tick-tock, things are running down. See if we got another mover in the field. Kuntz is around Babb now. In the 4th position. He's up 10 spots tonight so far. On board now with Bo Tiffany in that 35 machine. His best lap is at 23.1. Fast laps for the leaders are 22.8. Might be a tire conservation strategy here, not sure. But as I had mentioned, this concrete surface doesn't make friends for anyone. That's McKinney on the bottom side of Tiffany making the pass. They shuffle around. Crossover move by that 35 on the 46. Not rolling over. It's kind of like a cute dance if you're at a party. You're just like, hey, I'm gonna cross you over, don't worry about it. Drivers are settling in for the long haul here. We're going to have to watch these lap times. Leaders are 23.5s, 23.6s. These drivers back here, even though they're 6 seconds back, they're running the same lap times as the leaders. So we're going to have to see how much degradation happens to these tires and whether it plays a factor to reel them in before a pit strategy starts to happen. Take a look at Skull Bandit Machine 1 of Williams. Williams is currently sitting in P2 in points, tied. Well, he's tied for first, not P2, but tied for first place. And he's tied with the 99 machine of Moser Racing, Wally Babb in his Chevy-powered truck. Seen him a bunch tonight already. P3 in points is the 51 machine of Great House. And we were just on him, but we'll check on him again as he's still dancing with that 46 machine of McKinney in his McDingers. But it's World B Day, May 20th, just in case you didn't know. P4 in points is Tiffany. Those 4 drivers are just separated by 20 points as of last race. Slight contact here, live on Speed Zone TV. I don't know if McKinney's going to woe it up. He is. Caution is out. Not sure if there was any other carnage, but we're just trying to call out the points, boys. Just trying to call out the points. Go ahead and we'll take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay, see if there was anything else here that brought out the carnage of that yellow flag. Try to dissect it. It's likely these two drivers are, getting a little bit frustrated with each other, as they've been running door to door for, I would say, almost 10 laps. McKinney holds a good line here off the exit of 4. Down the front stretch. Looks like, the 35 ran, the 46 a little bit tight. Maybe an incidental contact here. Kenny does a great job of getting it under control. These drivers were able to stay clear of everyone else. Despite the mild contact there, so likely no damage. But you don't want to be sliding your truck around and hurting those tires. But get back to live action here. Show's over. Not sure if we saw any tires happen or just fuel only. It might be a little early to take tires based on how many sets these guys have. Not sure if race control is going to be handing out any incidents for that one. Definitely interesting to see if we have any penalized drivers from that, but definitely looks like gentle contact. Under caution here, 25 laps in. Race number 10, Dover Motor Speedway for National Association of Sim Racers, NASR, I'll call them, covering off threat level midnight media for Speed Zone TV. I'm your host, Robert Warrens, bringing you all the action. You saw it live here. Slight contact on from the 35 and the 46. Pretty incidental, but bringing out that first caution, which allows drivers to settle into a strategy. We talked about fast lap times and what some of the other drivers had done further back in the field. Now, it's going to be interesting to see, perhaps, if tire saving is a factor here. Showing Williams is out. Not sure what happened to Williams. Seeing any information. Try to get an update on that as we progress here, but back up with our leaders. Green's out. Smith again electing to take the outside with Greathouse on the bottom, Babbitt behind. Tight race in between Kuntz and Gattina. Slight contact here again. 88 and 77. 88 says hello again. Hard contact there. Wasn't expecting a quick caution here, as these guys did a great job for the first 25 laps. I don't want to say it, but those cautions can be horrible sometimes. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what happened. We saw some 3 wide racing, but let's take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay. I love this far chase cam. You can see they're 3 wide. That's Bab on the outside, with the 88 of Gattina in the middle. Our camera is on the 77 of Kuntz. Take a little clicky here. Bab does a good job of running the 3rd groove. Kuntz in the middle. 88 gets a little loose. Kuntz comes up. Looks like a little bit of tight racing, but you see a slight contact there. That one's definitely hard to call. Let's just take a little back up again one more time. They're coming out of 2 here. Wiggle there from the 88, and then you can see that they're locked together right there. They try to shake off. The 88 gets loose, comes back down into the 77. 77, hard contact into the wall. But these drivers in behind at 77, great job of checking up and not adding insult to injury for these 2 drivers. But the 88 truck says hello to the 77 again. And the rest of the field, very impressive to see the drivers here at the National Association of Sim Racers get right through all that carnage. And that's our Speed Zone TV instant replay. You see that 88 truck leaving now. 77's in there, likely getting the damage fixed. Tough break for Malik there. Was running well, was on a hard charge, maybe a little too aggressive with that 3 wide on the restart. The tires could have been a little bit cold. Just to say, can't win them all. I don't know if he's took a breath from leading yet, but that's the 6 machine of Justin Smith electing to take the outside again for a second restart. Been very dominant in his Castrol motor oil. Got a jug of that sitting in my garage. Been too lazy to change the oil in my car. Don't tell anyone. Now you saw the 46 machine. He's currently in 5th spot. He was one of those tire savers. I don't know if he's running discount tires and couldn't get the speed out of them, but he's definitely going to be one to be reckoned with last week's winner at Talladega Super Speedway. Green is out once again. Looks like Great House did a good job of keeping a nose on that 6 machine. He's going to run him hard down into turn 1 with Bab in behind. Watching the shimmer on the spoilers as they exit turn 2. Great job by Great House. Wasn't expecting that kind of restart from that 51 on the bottom line, but he's our new leader. Single file for a majority of the field, getting back into a rhythm. McKinney looking to make a move on the 84 machine of Long. That's the 35 machine of Tiffany, also battling with McKinney earlier, so those two drivers did a great job of saving tires. They do say clean air is king. You can see that Great House has opened up a slight bit gap over Smith and over Bab. Drivers are looking like they're running consistent times over laps, like slight trade-off. What you're not going to want to be is too tight on that truck in front of you. It's likely to create a slight aero push, and as the harder you drive that truck, that right front is going to just wear more and more. You're not going to be able to get off the corners. You might start to develop either a push or a loose feeling. Take a look back here. Drivers are starting to mix it up a little bit further back. On board with Oceano, making a move on the 17 of Brown. Tina back into the mix as well as Brown's rubbing the wall. That's 49 machine in behind him. That's Hudson making the pass on Brown as well. Big gap from Great House. You know, I called it earlier. I thought Great House was saving his tire on the entry a little bit better than Smith, and now opening up a 1.5 second gap on P2. On board with that 35 machine as Negus looks low in the 55, grabbing the bottom of 3 and 4. Negus is going to complete the pass on lap 40. Machine to Hudson on the move. He's up 9 spots tonight. Does not have any blistering laps, but you know, very consistent as he's sitting in the 10th position in this 20-car field. I saw Decker come into the pits. Not sure what's going on. Is it a fuel stop here? We'll just take a look. Give him a second before we get back to the field. Been a little too long to be a regular pit stop. We're going to go back up with our leader here, Great House. 1.9 seconds on the lead. One thing I always like to do is hop in the cockpit, listening to the car being feathered on the exit of the corner. down the backstretch. Very smooth acceleration on the exit. Negus is charging up and putting pressure on Smith. He's going to complete the pass. Smith drops to the P3 position. On board with Smith now, you can see Negus in front. Now listen to Smith's throttle inputs for a second. You can see that a lot more wheel input on the entry of the corner. And that right front is sliding. You also hear Smith picking up the throttle a little bit more aggressively than Greathouse. Let's go ahead and take a look at yellow is out. We're gonna figure out why here in just a second. Gotta stop telling the cameraman to play with everything. See where our Speed Zone TV instant replay takes us. Unfortunately, it's not like it's gonna take us anywhere special. Looks like the yellow is already out. Not able to see why, unfortunately. Take one more click, see if we can see anyone out of shape here. Seeing anyone out of shape, we'll just go back to live action. We'll try to get some more information on that later. These drivers are going to come down into the pits. I imagine we're going to see some tires getting bolted on, because those lap times were starting to get atrocious. Fresh rubber always feels good on vehicles. I don't know in every aspect of life, but definitely in vehicles it does. Everyone's down in the pit lane here. Once again, Speed Zone TV bringing you the coverage tonight. I'm Robert Warren, your host. Shout out to Threat Level Midnight Media for allowing us to cover the race tonight for the National Association of Sim Racers, race number 10 at Dover Motor Speedway. Quick pit by Negus. No tires, but looks like everyone else is on that strategy. Double zero machine of Chris the Tramp Luttrell. The champ, not the tramp. Clear your ears out, guys. Jeez. Last season's winner over at Lightning Esports came out through the playoffs and got it done. Luttrell is currently tied for 10th in points here. It's looking like, based on what happened here, Negus took tires the last pit stop and was able to make a run to the front. Hoping for a longer green flag run. This might put him on his heels here. We're going to have to watch how this plays out. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to be going green as we scoot around turns 3 and 4. Dun, dun, dun. Coming to lap 50 here. flag is out. Looks like Greathouse is going to get a great run, no pun intended, into turn 1. Perspective. Little wiggle there by Smith. Single file for the entire field. Good job for these guys. Getting her done. Negus holding on to that second spot. Greathouse checking out. Lap times have settled in just around 23.1 seconds. It's like contact on the wall. I think that was from Asiano, that 4 machine. Is that a Latz Ultra? Could use me a beverage right now. That's 84 machine of long in behind. Oh, it is the Blatz Blue. That's great. Kind of thirsty right now myself. You guys aren't going to have time to go get a beverage right now. You got to stay focused on the race that Speed Zone TV is bringing you tonight. Our leader, Matthew Greathouse, was sitting in second for a lot of the race over, I believe it was Justin Smith in the 6 truck, but now has deployed his strategy. Getting it done. Looks like Negus is starting to get a little pressure from Bab as he looks underneath him going into turn 3. Bab's making a good run down into turn 1. We talked about the outside of 1 and 2, but Bab's going to make all the room. See if the 35 machine of Tiffany gets a run here. Doesn't look so, as we just saw Tiffany brush the wall ever so slightly. Parkside Pub. Man, there's a lot of alcoholic beverage trucks in this race. And see how Tiffany's able to roll the center of the corner a slight bit better. He's going to get a run down into 1 here. Negus is holding on as they're door to door on the exit of 2. You can see that he's struggling. Justin Smith is now going to be looking to make a move, as well as McKinney and Long in behind. Bab making a charge on Greathouse as he's closed in the gap. But we saw from the broadcast earlier, Greathouse has done an amazing job at feathering the throttle, making that truck a rocket ship in the later part of the run. Both Greathouse and Bab, 23 6s, whereas Tiffany Smith are about 0.2 faster. Let's take a look. Time by. Greathouse opened up the throttle a little bit and got some sauce from the Gapplebees as he's moved up to 0.5 just after being just over a tenth ahead of Bab. See that the 99 machine is showing a little bit loose. Let's take a look at that 99 machine. Hop in his car here. Very hard on the throttle, 7 center up, running the second groove in 3 and 4. Over halfway into the race now. Little counter steer as you see that 51 machine brush the wall, the sparks fly back. See that RPMs climb. Let's take a look in the midst of McKinney here. Dover's interesting because as you start to exit the corner, that transition from the 24-degree bank to the 9-degree bank almost unloads the car. And when it unloads it, you can see it, these drivers start to counter steer because that back end is just getting so light. Kenny doing a great job here of stabilizing those wheel inputs, shutting it down before, little tight there, shutting it down before the center. On board right now with McKinney. Take a look at Gattina is a little bit further back. He's up 8 spots tonight. Saw him in a little bit contact earlier. Hugging that bottom. This track was formerly asphalt, now concrete. Big push into turn 1. Might be attacking a little bit hard. Trying to maybe get up in the draft. The driver running similar times to our leader. 23.8s. Greathouse is running the same time, so is Bab and Tiffany and Smith. We're seeing a battle happen right in front of us. Sean, Smith, McKinney in the wake draft of Tiffany. Long looks under Smith. Good line by both drivers as they come down the front stretch into turn 1. Long conservative into 1. Smith hard charges. This is a battle here for P5. Always find that the second groove comes alive later in the run. You start to get that push. If you higher entry, you see these drivers have moved up to the middle groove. Long not able to get back up there as McKinney is starting to put pressure on that 35 machine. Is doing a great job of wrapping the bottom in 3 and 4. Not sure what he has for Bab or Greathouse in front. Coming to the line, we've completed 75 laps. We're on lap 76. Tiffany shoots underneath. Bab. Looks like McKinney's going to follow through as well. Okay, Bab closes the door. McKinney looks low going into one. Smith on the outside of McKinney now. This is where the action is in the top 5, folks. We're here with Speed Zone TV. Slight brush of the wall from the 6 machine. Really a momentum-based track. Don't really want to upset your corners. Smith is crossing over, gets a little loose, shoots down to the inside wall, but gathers it up. See if McKinney can get back up there, put some pressure on Bab. Interesting enough, the fastest car on the track here, Smith again, losing control. Fastest truck on the track is the 49 machine of Hudson. Driver currently ran a 24.2 to the leader's 24.5. Oh, Bab into the wall. Slides up the track. He definitely got loose. Talking about lap times. He's going to gather it up, but I'm thinking we're seeing some right front damage, or sorry, left front damage here. Let's get a look on the nose of that truck. See that Hudson has done a great job of backing up those corners. You can see the slight damage on Bab's nose. Left front nose there. Not sure if that contact scared Hudson, but he's definitely fallen off his game. So under 40 laps left on board the 46 machine. Up one spot. We saw him at the start of the race. He dropped back, started picking his positions, moving back up the field. Tiffany and McKinney are relatively even, with the leader's lap times of Greathouse. Seeing Bab has come down the pits here. I have to see if Bab's bolting on tires. If he takes 4, takes 2. Right side of the car is up. I think the strategy is 4 tires. There goes 4 tires for that 99 machine. What he doesn't want to see is a caution now. He wants everyone to cycle through. It looks like other drivers have decided to follow Bab into the pits. That's 35 of Tiffany, 84 of Long, 46 of McKinney. 6 machine of Smith, the 17 machine of Brown, and 49 of Hudson. Likely all drivers going to be doing the same thing here. Greathouse, next lap in. I don't know if we got anyone left on the track, dang damn it. Have to wait for these drivers to cycle through. Not sure when Negus pitted. Still showing Greathouse as the leader. We're gonna have to reload our ticker here in a second. Oh, something like we've caught up here. The 35 machine is the leader. Tiffany, McKinney, Gattina, 1, 2, 3 with Greathouse in 4th. Take a look at our pit stop laps. Gattina came in on lap 83. Gonna be a little bit of struggle for him in about 5 laps time. These drivers are able to settle in with those freshies. You can see Negus in the 8th position. Came in lap 77. Cody Smith in 6th, lap 79. So it's going to be very interesting to see once we get some laps on these tires what happens. Race number 10, Dover Motor Speedway for the National Association of Sim Racers. Great battle here tonight with just about 30 laps to go. We've had a few cautions so far. Race has really settled in for these drivers. It'll be interesting to see if Tiffany can deploy the same strategy as Greathouse, managing those tires. Greathouse moves into the P3 position now, taking a spot away from Gattina. Justin Smith, that 6th machine, dominated pretty much the first third of the race, but hasn't been able to stitch it back together. I don't know if he's got another bag of tricks that he's going to be reaching into. But there's not a lot of time to get her done, you know what I'm saying? Get her done. McKinney giving a little bit of pressure to Tiffany. With Greathouse in behind now. I don't know if we're going to be seeing any friendships made as McKinney is shooting low on Tiffany. 3 wide down into turn 1. I don't know if there's going to be anybody's going to be eating at the same dinner table tonight. Greathouse backs out of it. Backs out of it going into turn 1. Tiffany's holding on to that outside in that 35 truck. Not sure if we're going to see McKinney do back-to-back wins tonight, but he's trying to get out front, get that clean air. Tiffany crosses down in behind. Let's see if there's a crossover. Blocked by McKinney to stop the run. This is your battle on your screen for the top few positions here. You can see top 5, 6 in your screen. Greathouse makes the move on Tiffany. Now we're going to have to see if McKinney has the speed, the skill to hold off that dominating 51 machine that has just put on a blistering pace in the second half of the race. We haven't seen McKinney up front yet, but here he is in the hot seat. McKinney gets a little loose on the exit of 2. be interesting to see which drivers have pocketed tire here. Down the backstretch. Just trying to look for some type of indication about how the drivers are entering the corner. See that the 51 backed off the entry slightly into 3. Maintaining a 0.2 gap. Similar charge. It looks like Great House is giving up a little bit of time in the center of the corner just to pick it up on exit a little bit smoother. Have to check out on these guys in a little bit. Gonna have to. I'd like to check in here on our 3rd place battle. It's going to be Tiffany and Long, 0.3 back. So these drivers for 3rd and 4th, similar gap to 1st and 2nd. Looks like we got a battle here with Smith and Asiano. That's Smith on the outside, the 4 Machine on the inside. LeBlat's Blue Courage getting it done. Babb and Brown also in a tight battle as well. Brown looking to make a move on Babb, coming out of the exit of 4. A little loose from Babb. Great House within 0.2 of McKinney with 18 laps to go. Slight contact on the wall from Babb again. Coming out of 2, charging hard. Slides off the track on the 17. To see if he gives him some room on the exit here. 17 gets a good run. 1/10 back for Great House on McKinney. Brown's going to complete the pass here. Babb hard in the wall, hooking down to the bottom. He's going to have to save that tire a little bit more. Let's go back up with our leaders here as they're coming up on lap traffic. That's the 47 Machine of Kennedy. Ooh, gets a little dangerous. Not sure if Great House is going to get a run down the front stretch here. He's going to be looking on the inside. 15 laps to go at the line. Diamonding in the corner of 1 and 2. McKinney needs to get down in front, but Great House has got a great run. And he's going to be our new leader with 15 to go. Very patient move. You can see that just saving tire there has paid off. Let's go ahead and take a look at Smith and Long. That's where our battle is for 4th and 5th position, with Katina in behind. Tina's making the move on Long now, as well as Smith looks to be getting a little loose. That's Asiano in the 4. Oh no, sorry, no, that's a lap truck. Great House is checking out and turning 0.3 of a quicker laps than the other drivers. Not sure if he's going to be handing out some secret sauce later. But he's opening up the field with only 12 laps to go. Negus is a lap, 2 laps down. Tina trying to stop the trail from going underneath. He's trying to get up to Smith. Not seeing very many tight battles right now. We'll check in on our leader. Dominating the second half of the race, Matthew Greathouse. Watched him pocket tire and then just be able to pull away. Nine laps to go. It's really just about hitting your marks. Not doing anything crazy, just being consistent. Not seeing any crazy things happen in the field here. 8 laps to go, 7 at the line. Looks like Asiano is starting to catch the 84 machine. Of Long. 5/10 back right now. Next week, we're going to Darlington Motor Speedway. Well, the lady in back, I don't know if it's called Darlington Motor Speedway. We're doing throwback schemes there. You're going to have to turn into threat level midnight media for coverage. Following that, we're going to be off for the long weekend. 5 laps to go. Take a look at McKinney, see how he's doing. 3/10 back is Tiffany with 5 laps to go. Tiffany ran 4/10 quicker the last time and only 1/10 quicker this time. Not sure if McKinney is going to be pressured for that P2 spot. But it's looking like Tiffany has caught the air. Of McKinney. Race becomes official when the white flag comes out. There's not a lot of time for Tiffany to make a move here. He's going to want to make it quick. That's Smith and Gattina in behind. Smith throwing up a block on Gattina. Gattina makes a move down into 3. Final lap, race is official. Smith brushes the wall. Gattina making a good run here. I don't know if Smith's going to be able to hold on. But here's our leader, Greathouse. Is going to be our victor. P2 going to McKinney, holding off Tiffany. Gattina, P4 with Smith there in tow. Asiano, 6, up 12 spots tonight. Very impressive. 84 machine along. A little bit of fall off with those tires. Brown in 8th, Hudson in 9th, Kratke 10th. Didn't really get a lot of camera time for that 54 machine. I have to go back there. Burning down that 51. Dominating performance for the second half of the race. Greathouse just showing the others how to get it done here at the treacherous turns of Dover Motor Speedway. Definitely seeing how tire management was a critical factor. Might have just been time spent figuring it out. To say to say. Speed Zone TV, I'm Robert Warrens. We're going to be looking to do some driver interviews in a second. See what people got to say. Just queue up screen here for a second. Right, we're winding the footage back here before we grab these drivers and conduct some interviews. Going to be bringing in the 35 machine first of Bo Tiffany. All right, let's go ahead and grab him. What's up, Bo? It's Robert in the booth. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm pretty dang great. Great run for you tonight. Pretty impressive. You started further back in the field, got yourself up to P3. What was your strategy going through the race?
Just being conservative on the tires, just kind of arcing the corners a little bit, trying to save a little fuel. I goofed up qualifying. I don't know. Obviously lap 2 was the faster lap. I scuffed the wall on lap 1, and it just killed my lap 2. So just part of it. I was trying to pace Matt there at the end, and I knew when he pitted a lap after me, I knew it was going to come down to being a little bit short on fuel.
Yeah, it was interesting to see how that the strategies played out there, and we had that kind of work out for you. You did a great job of navigating the field. Very impressive. And then, you saw a variation of drivers maybe attack the corners too hard and then have a little bit more wear, but you were able to kind of stick it out. Tell us a bit about the sponsors on your truck. What the heck is... what do you got? Bees? World Bee Day?
Yeah, so B&C Bees, that's my 2 boys, and I have a beekeeping business. So I put this out there for them. My son does, he loves to do YouTube videos and all that stuff. So that kind of helps them and, teach your little ones a little bit about being in business for themselves and different things. And it's a fun little hobby. So we do honey and we, bottle it, sell it, and all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's cool, man. You were sitting P4 in points tonight. Before the race, you definitely gained up some points on Babb and Williams. Unfortunately, not too much on Greathouse. What's your strategy going into next week's race at Darlington?
Going to be the exact same thing as here. Darlington is one of those tracks you don't race each other. You got to race the track. You got to be consistent. Just like here, it's really about just hitting your marks every single lap and just being consistent. Same thing. Tire wear, fuel. It's all going to play into it.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. These 2 tracks are that type of driving style. What are your plans for the championship? Do you think you're in contention to shake down the guys in front of you, or what?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, Matt's good. He's tough to beat. Dalton's great to race with. Really, everybody in here has been fun with. I think we have some really good racing. I really don't know. I want to apologize that Dalton hadn't had a chance to talk to him. I don't know what happened back there with that first caution. We both kind of got together and we both kind of saved it. And I wasn't really sure, it was 0x. So I don't know if it was a little bit of net code. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I want to apologize to him because we both race each other fun and good there. And even at the end for second place,
Yeah, no, I caught it on the broadcast, and thanks. I got old timers disease where I forget things all the time. But when I was looking at it, you guys were just tight coming out of turn 4, and it was really just you were both close. I mean, so slight an incidental contact that I couldn't point fingers either which way on that one, to be honest. So I would just say tough racing, and I think it's very humble of you to just give a shout out and apologize, because I already forgot about it. It was so insignificant.
That's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Just all my kids, my family, my wife, everybody. My parents that watch the broadcast, they're probably hooting and hollering. And, my teammate, unfortunately, Trevor, I don't know what happened. He had a packet loss issue there, and he disappeared from the race. And I mean, you guys in the booth do a great job, and thanks to all the guys in this league. Everybody, we all practice together, and we seem to race pretty well together. So we've put on some good races, and it's been fun.
Heck yeah. Well, congrats on your P3 tonight, Bo. If we're back here with Speed Zone, love to see you race again. You did a great job, and good luck at Darlington next week.
Yeah, man, appreciate it very much. Have a great evening.
Yeah, you too. That was our P3 finisher, Bo Tiffany. We're going to be bringing in our P2 finisher in just 1 second. Cue up that beautiful 46 McDingers machine. Feeling a little McDingy myself. What's up, Dalton? Rob in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How we doing?
I'm feeling spicy. A little spicy tonight. I don't know. Congrats on your P2. Watching you through the race at the start, you fell right back. What the heck were you doing falling so far back right at the start? Did you get in trouble and I just missed it?
In this league, if you win, the following week you got to get an EOL and start from the back. So I had to come from the tail tonight. I would have loved to have had an opportunity to keep my fourth place qualifying position, see if I would have had anything for Great House. But from there, you're just kind of chasing and trying to just put yourself in the best situation moving forward. And so, yeah, that was kind of my situation to start tonight, was the downside to winning last week at Dega.
Yeah. I don't. What's more prestigious for you? Would it be a win here or a win at Dega?
Oh man, a win here would be cool just because it feels a little bit more like a driver track. Dega is always fun. I'm gonna try to win every opportunity I get, and you're not thinking about that EOL next week when you're racing at the end of these races. And but yeah, it's I've never really been that good here. I'm not a huge fan of this track, so just to be in the mix at the end is a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be able to hold off Great House a little bit more, a little bit longer, but it just seems he got like a run on you, and it wasn't until we got those cautions that you were able to. You were saving tires a little bit further back in the field, and when we got that one caution, you were able to shuffle up, and then kind of just make your pathway to the front. Would you have done anything differently to perhaps hold off that 51 machine tonight?
And he had the advantage being out front. It's a lot easier to save fuel when you're out front leading, and he kind of had a gap there and was able to save fuel. And I ran it as far as I could. I had to pit when I did on that last pit stop. He was able to go an extra lap, so he had fresher tires than me. I think he probably could have got around me even quicker than he did. I think he was kind of just saving his stuff and waiting, buying his time. I actually got to the point when about a couple laps before he passed me, I started doing the math and realized I was about a half a lap short on fuel. And, being a half lap short on fuel, he had an extra lap on me and he had the fresher tires. At that point, you never concede, but I wasn't I felt like my best spot to finish was second unless we got another caution. A caution there when I'm still leading would have been great, come down, get 4 tires, put a little fuel in it. And then the starting of the back, all that stuff feels erased at that point. But I just never got to the front row with equal equipment, equal fuel, and all that stuff. So I don't think there was much I could have done in this race in particular, other than just wish a caution would have came there later.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like just watching both of you guys drive through the race, you had different driving strategies as you kind of like entered the corners, and then also feathered up. So if you go back and watch a replay, you're going to see Great House's. He's hovering on the throttle for longer than just about everyone, and as you got through the second half of the run, he was just substantially quicker. So that's your tip and takeaway for next time you're at one of these. That's what he's doing. He's saving a lot.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I could tell, just having that extra fuel, and every time we pitted, I was in the same Discord as him, so you kind of hear tire numbers, percentages, and whatnot. Yeah. I was always 5-7% lower than he was. I know traffic has a little bit to do with that, but even in equal stuff tonight, I felt like he was a little bit better, and he was going to save better regardless.
So you're sitting P8 in points for the season so far. Do you guys have drop weeks that are considered? Because I see 10. This will be race number 11 or 10.
Yeah, this should be 11. I've missed 2. For one of the misses, I think they give you 10 points. They give you points for like last place. So I should get a little 10-point bonus, but a lot of guys will. Well, I say that. It looks like only Great House is in front of me missing a race. So, I was pretty tight there. I'm thinking I'll move up to fifth
Yep.
tonight. Some guys in front of me having some issues. But yeah, just trying to make the playoffs. I missed a couple races there. I actually missed Daytona after winning the duel. So that one hurt. And then I went to a Cardinals game a few weeks ago, St. Louis Cardinals game, and missed another race. And so yeah, I'm just trying to sneak into the playoffs, accumulate as many bonus points as I can. And once we get to the playoffs, as long as you're there, and I feel like I feel like I got a chance once I get there, but it's going to be tough. Nothing's going to be easy. There's a lot of fast guys in here. A lot of fast guys had trouble tonight that I knew was going to be quick here in particular. So yeah, just like I said, just trying to be there at the end of the season.
Well, heck yeah, I agree with you. You should probably move up in about fifth in points tonight. You're going to Darlington next week. Is that a track you like?
No, not really.
I don't think anyone likes it, right? Like, does anyone like Darlington?
I don't think so. I absolutely don't think so. I've had a couple good runs there. I think it's kind of a track about keeping your nose clean, track position, qualifying well, about like any other track we go to outside the super speedways. So yeah, I'd be thrilled with a top 5 to 7 there. I feel like, but I said that tonight. I said I'd be happy with the top 5, so I can't complain with a second. So hopefully we can do that again next week.
Yeah, 100%. Who do you want to give a shout out to tonight, Dalton?
My family. We have McDinger Sports Bar and Grill. My girlfriend, she's Birdie's Blooms on the Nose for kind of allowing me to do this. I'm in a couple of leagues, so to do this twice a week. Everyone involved in the league, putting this league on. All the drivers. I mean, this was a really good race. It's a tough track, really clean racing. Makes it a lot of fun to show up every Thursday night knowing that you're out there with a bunch of guys that respect each other, and makes it fun. And Vickery, and I hate that he missed tonight. I think he's at Pocono watching some NASCAR racing this weekend. So I hope he has a good time if he's watching. And then you for coming in and doing this broadcast tonight. I'm really looking forward to going back and watching it. These broadcasts is what makes us drivers better. I'll be able to, like you said, go and see what Great House is doing tonight and see if I can learn some things moving forward into our season. And then Johnny Williams, he does my paints. He always has me looking sharp. I love this paint that he has me in right now. I may see if we can find a throwback paint for Darlington next week, but yeah, that'll pretty well do it. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, nice seeing you race tonight, Dalton. I enjoyed racing against you when we raced against each other. And if I'm back up in the booth, I'll be looking forward to seeing you dance on the track again. So congrats on your P2, buddy.
Sounds good, Robert. Thanks, man.
Yeah, take care. Our P2 finisher, we're going to bring in our winner in just 1 second, Mr. Greathouse himself. He's probably just, popping bottles right now. Matthew, Robert up in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
Good, Robert. What's going on, bud?
Just hanging out. Watched your strategy unfold tonight. You chased the 6 machine of Smith around for a while. The early caution came out. I wasn't expecting you to get the lead when you did after when you did on that one restart, but you kind of set sail after that. What the heck were you doing that was so different than everyone else?
I don't know. I mean, Dover's one of my probably better tracks, I would say. I just kind of got a good feel from center of the corner off, and kind of helps me save a little bit of tire. I mean, I was riding behind Justin there just trying to save some stuff because I knew I wasn't going to take tires until the competition caution.
Yep.
I wanted to save a set in case we had a late race caution. So I was saving my stuff a little bit and came in and just got fuel only that first stop. And then once we got to the competition caution, we were going at it. So the second run though, after the comp caution, I was clutching a little bit because I knew if I could get to lap 86, that was going to give me a 1 lap tire advantage, and also I wouldn't have to save fuel because it was like right on the number if you pit on 85, so it was kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So I did my best to get to 86, and I was able to do that, so it worked out.
It did kind of work out for you, didn't it? You had some contact with that 30. No, that was McKinney that had it. You didn't have contact with anyone tonight. You had a super clean race, actually. What was kind of impressive for me, and I was watching your cockpit and just kind of explaining it, you were actually feathering the throttle through most of the corner and picking it up very late on the exits of 2 and 4. And as you were like almost 20-ish laps into a run, you were substantially faster than everyone else. Are you going to be coaching anyone else on what the heck you're doing, or just saving all the speed for yourself?
I mean, we run a practice session on Tuesday, and I try to help out everybody on Threat Level Midnight in our group as much as possible. I mean, they're able to see everything that I'm doing, and I kind of give them what my lap averages are, and I try to help those guys out as much as possible. I want to see them do well too. So I don't know. Dover's just one of those tracks where I really like a little bit of off throttle time, and saving the rears here is keeping the rears locked on corner exit is what I like to do, and it just it works when you have a long run.
Yeah, 100%, and I agree. Right, like you're on a concrete surface. If you go to Darlington, you're at Nashville Super Speedway. They're very much similar in the sense of if you overdrive, you're going to start to lose rear grip, and you did a great job at that. Were you expecting McKinney in the 46 machine with what was it, about 15, 16 laps to go to put up a little bit more of a fight, or did you feel like you had enough saved and enough covered where it wasn't going to be too much pressure?
I mean, Dalton's very good, so I was a little bit concerned. I kind of had a little bit of a struggle. I hate this auto fuel stuff, man. So it was telling me I only needed 8.5 gallons, and I knew that was wrong. So I was trying to. I don't have a quick toggle for some reason for that. I don't think I updated it, so I had to try to get that extra gallon or gallon and a half loaded up in the black box, and I kind of screwed up my come to pit lap. I was a little bit slower, and that kind of cost me a little bit of time. But so I came out of the pits fourth, and I thought, well, I got to make quick work of at least two of these guys and try to put some pressure on Dalton. And I was able to get by the 88. I was able to get by the 35, and then just kind of followed Dalton for a little bit and try to pick where he might be a little bit weaker than me, where he could be better than me. And we kind of got behind a lap truck, and the lap truck kind of slowed both of us down, but it kind of set him up for a lower corner entry, and he kind of slid up, and I was able to get to the bottom. And I think just better tires, maybe one lap can mean quite a bit once you run, 20 laps or so. So it all worked out for me. But yeah, Dalton's really good. So I don't, I was kind of worried when I was behind him. I was gonna have to burn my stuff up to try to get around him, but it all worked out for me.
Yeah, 100%. I agree that the lap car did set the stage, and it bobbled you both up and kind of set you both out of your rhythm. But you're the victor tonight. You got it done. We're going to Darlington next week. We talked about strategy there. You're currently third in points. Well, I don't know how you're going to be. You're third in points right now coming into tonight. 7 points back. Williams looks like he had packet loss, dropped off. Bab finished a little bit further back in the field. I would imagine you might be, the points leader after tonight. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, man, it feels really good. I mean, I missed a race, so I should get 10 points. Everybody gets 10 points if you miss a race. Last place points, I believe. So that'll help me out a little bit as well. But yeah, I mean, we got 2 races left, Darlington and Charlotte. I feel pretty good about both of those. So, if I can just keep it clean and stay out of any messes, should be able to keep trucking and, have a shot at the regular season title. So I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of upset that Trevor wasn't able to race. I thought he was going to be really good on a long run too. He typically is. And then also Malik getting wrecked. And Malik really likes this track, and he seemed like he was going to be really fast and hard to beat. So I really like a challenge, and adding those 2 guys to the other 2 to 3 that was up there with us for most of the race. I think it would have been a lot of fun too. So, but bad luck happens, and things happen in racing, and you kind of out of your control sometimes. And everything aligned for me tonight. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Oh, congrats on your win tonight, Matthew. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I want to shout out Threat Level Midnight Media. Want to shout out Jeff Vickery. I know he's watching from Pocono. It's pretty cool. Hope he enjoys the weekend there. Off-Axis Paint, Nevin Eyewear, and Advent Edge Marketing and Management, just to name a few. So, Decence Racing Designs. We also have a thing going on. So I paint my own trucks, and I paint some trucks for other people. We have a thing going on next week for Darlington Throwback Week. So best throwback paint scheme will get $20 iRacing credit. Thanks to me and also Zach Bates as well in our group. So we will give the best paint $20 credit. So I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody brings. Looking forward to Darlington and hoping for a good race.
Heck yeah. Well, like I said, congrats on your win tonight. Excellent performance from yourself. Like you said, too, also a tough break for some of those drivers that were definitely showing speed. Like that 77 truck was, I think he was coming for you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how his long run speed was, but I know for the first 15 to 20 laps, he was consistently about a tenth better. So,
Yep.
It would have been fun. It would have been fun. It would have been fun if I could have, unleashed everything and went up against him heads up, and also Trevor, like I said, and then Bo and Dalton. They had a good race too. So I think Justin led some laps. Good to see him up front too.
Yeah. Well, once again, congrats on your win tonight, Matthew. Stunning performance. If Speed Zone TV's back again, I'll be looking out for how you do your dance. But quite incredible of a performance for you at Dover, just managing your tires, managing your stuff, and getting it done. So have a good night, sir. And if I see you again, chat. I'm sure you'll be back up in the booth.
Yeah, sounds good, man. And another thing, thank you for stepping into broadcast with Jeff being out. I'm gonna go back and watch it here in a little bit. So looking forward to that. So appreciate it, and appreciate Race Control. Stephen Ford also. He hangs out with us every week and does a great job.
Heck yeah. Well, enjoy your night, sir. Don't pop too many bottles, and we'll talk soon.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, take care. That was our winner, Matthew Greathouse, in that 51 machine. Dominating performance for him overall. Saw it the second half of the race. Nobody could touch his speed. We saw his strategy play out. He talked about saving a little bit of fuel, clutching, coming in a lap later than everyone else, putting pressure on the 46 machine of McKinney, making his moves around Gattina in the 88 and the 35 machine of Tiffany. And just quite simply, being the fastest truck. It was mentioned that a few of the fast drivers fell off and weren't able to finish out the race. So maybe that could have created a different landscape. Overall, great driving from the drivers at National Association of Sim Racers. And we're here on behalf of Threat Level Midnight Media, Speed Zone TV. I'm Robert Warrens. Just overall a great race. These guys put on a great show for you guys. I think it was 3 or 4 cautions. Well, one was a comp caution. And since I'm such a horrible broadcaster, I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, where's the yellow? Where's the yellow? But it all started to make sense now. Slight contact from 35 and 46, finishing 2 and 3 tonight, which was really nothing. And then the other caution, I believe, was between the 77 and 88 and 3 wide contact there. So 3 cautions tonight from what I can remember, and just a lot of respectful racing. So once again, I'm Speed Zone TV, Robert Warrens, your broadcaster tonight for the National Association of Sim Racers. Great field of trucks tonight. 20 in total. We had a few drop off. Next week, these guys are going to Darlington Speedway for throwback paint, so you're going to want to tune into the regular channel of Threat Level Media Midnight, or Threat Level Midnight Media for the regular scheduled broadcast. But I expect that the quality of competition is going to be just about the same as what you saw tonight. But just once again, shout out to Great House for getting it done and putting on a show for you guys that are watching and as well as Dalton McKinney in the 46 and Bo Tiffany in the 35 for finishing out the podium. But overall, very impressed with everything that I saw from up in the broadcasting booth, and just overall great victory by that 51 machine rating around. We'll be signing off from Speed Zone TV tonight, and gonna let that 51 machine just do one little bit more of a burn down. And thank you once again for having us here tonight and being a part of the show. Everyone enjoys the rest of their night, and we'll be signing off.